Hi guys, this is Charlie from Vamos Gaming Systems. So in the previous community post, I actually posted something like this, whereby while I was actually purchasing my current GPU, the XFX Swift 9070 XT, white 16GB, I actually asked the shop employee there. I was just curious, like, no, are these AMD GPUs selling well? How are they performing relative to the Nvidia ones? And then the guy told me that, yeah, 3:1. So I was like, huh? 3:1? Like, you're selling every 3 AMD cards compared to one Nvidia card? He says yes, easily. So he just says it very deadpan, like as if it's a matter of fact. And I think it's really surprising to me that AMD cards like the AMD 9000 series cards, I'm not too sure what the employee was referring to. Like, is it specifically the 9070 XT, or maybe he's just referring to the 9000 cards in general? Because when I was speaking to him, this was about 2 weeks ago. So I think the 9060 XT 16GB just launched like probably like 2 weeks to a month out. So they've not been in the market for that long. So I'm guessing that most of the sales are of the 9070 and the 9070 XTs. And yeah, they're selling at least 3 times for every 3 AMD cards. So they're selling one probably 5000 series, like maybe the 5080, 5070 Ti's and so on. So the value proposition, so I guess the DIY market in Singapore, it's really in tune to the value proposition of the AMD 9000 series cards, and it kind of shows. I mean, I don't have results here, but personally, I did do a benchmark of the 9070 XT against the previous generation powerhouse from AMD, the 7900 XTX, and in that instance, it shows that the 7900 XTX actually beats the 9070 XT hands-on, which was also shown in many other reviews. So it's not a high-end replacement, right? It's a mid-range replacement. I would say probably the 9070 XT rasterized performance-wise would probably be on par with maybe the 7900 GRE, or maybe even the 7900 XT from the previous generation of AMD cards. But in terms of like comparing to Nvidia's cards, 9070 XT is actually comparable to the 5070 Ti 16GB in many instances, even like sometimes in ray tracing loads as well. As there are recent reviews by Hardware Unboxed and Think Daniel Owen, and I believe Tech Yes City as well. They have all done no follow-up reviews of the 9070 XT versus 5070 Ti. And the 5070 Ti is usually found for around, what was my previous pricing? So if I look at my previous spreadsheets, anyway, no, I do have a lot of all these spreadsheets and research data. If you like to access any of these spreadsheets, just like a site, like call out to my website, you can go to vamosgaming.com, and you can actually have access to all of my research data here to find like which GPUs are the cheapest in Singapore, which CPUs are the cheapest in Singapore. Some lists may be a bit outdated because I don't have the time to update them every month, but I think the GPU one is at least updated as of beginning of June, so I haven't done an update for July. So yeah, you can get access to this list at my website at vamosgamingsys.com. Link in the video description below. So coming back to the price, so a 5070 Ti, the cheapest I can find one is 1229. But for the 9070 XTs, we're talking about exactly the same performance. I can easily get one at about $950. I bought mine, the white version, at around this price, $989. So I pay a little bit of premium for the white version, but it is not, no, it's just a few dollars more. But this is a big comparison. Like, I'm saving about 200 SGD, 200 Sing dollars. 200 Sing dollars, I mean, actually in this case it's more than 200. It's about 250 Sing dollars saved. So 250 Sing dollars can actually go to a lot of other tech components. Like, you can easily get a 2TB NVMe SSD, so you can upgrade your whole NVMe storage by a whole 2TB with a $250 savings. Or $250 you can buy an LCD AIO, right? You want to change your air cooler to a fancy AIO with an LCD, $250 can get you that. $250 can get you a much more premium case. You want to go for like the top end cases, like the height Y60, the height Y70 but the non-touch version, that would cost about $200 over. So the like the Fantex NV cases, about $200. So basically $200 is a lot. It can actually it is a big difference. And the DIY market in Singapore seems to agree that yeah, $200 is a lot. Why pay for more? Then I'll just get the 9070 XT because good ray tracing performance, good restoration performance, exactly the same as the 5070 Ti, but I save 250 Sing dollars less. So that is that. So but then again, how come that a lot of people are still saying that AMD is not selling well? Like the like probably Steam hardware survey and stuff like that, people are still buying 8 GB cards, for example. So the DIY market, such as us, like people who watch this channel, people who watch Hardware Unbox, people who watch J2 Cents, even like maybe Linus Tech Tips as more casual viewers, people who watch Paul's Hardware, for example, yeah. We are like really hating on the 8 GB new graphics cards, right? Because a lot of the tests they have done have shown that it can't really run well on modern games because of the VRAM restrictions. But why are they still so popular? Like why are they still so many them in the market, especially in things like Steam hardware survey and so on? I would say you have to actually look through the pre-built market. So Aftershock is one of the biggest pre-built system or SI system integrators in Singapore, and if I want to like look at like any pre-built, that I will just have to go and look at Aftershock. You can see a lot of their used Aftershock pre-builts landing on carousell as well. When people know they want to upgrade and want to get rid of their old pre-builts, you will see them listed on that. So it's a sign that yes, they do supply a lot of pre-builts. And if I'm here, this is their Aftershock homepage, right? I just Google, and I believe they have what do they have it? Maybe best deals. Like okay, this is their first banner, right? 7/7 super sale. So I just click on their first banner and I go into know what they are pushing. So this is what they are pushing, right? They're pushing for the cheapest pre-built. So at up to $850 off. This what they're claiming for discounts. So if you scroll down, they have pre-builts as cheap as 735 Sing dollars. And what do they have in there? They have a 3050 6 GB. So obviously not the best. I mean, among the viewers of this channel, or you will know that 6 GB GPU, like 8 GB was already bad, so 6 GB is gonna be terrible. 3050, but that is the most affordable entry. But it does actually put, it does like let the user enter into the AM5 platform. So in terms of CPU upgrade wise, it's pretty good, and they are on the DDR5 platform as well. So yeah, and yeah, so yeah, GPU is not great. But what's next from that? So 885 Sing dollars, about 900 Sing dollars, they get a 5050. So the latest Nvidia GPU, but as you can see, it's also a 8 GB GPU as well. So example is like I am looking for a pre-built. So let's say you have a friend who is totally new to PC gaming. They just want to play. They just want to play Valorant, for example, or they want to play League of Legends and things like that. They're like, okay, I want a PC that can game and also maybe do a bit of streaming while I'm playing Valorant and all that. Then you'll be like, okay, just get a pre-built, right? Because they don't want to build their own PC. They don't know how to. They don't want to spend the time to research. So when they come to Aftershock, these are the cheapest. They're gonna look at the cheapest ones. So they're gonna be like, oh, $735. Okay, 3050. No, I'll get it. Or $885. Then they'll be like, okay, Nvidia 5000 series card. Okay, I'll get it. So this is where most of the 8 GB cards are going to. They're going to the very casual, non-enthusiast PC users who are buying pre-builts. And if you go further, like 969 is also another 5060, another 8 GB GPU. And it's only until at starting point of $985 that people get a choice of 9060 XT. Take note that Aftershock is actually really good on this, that they give them a clear choice of between 8 and 16 GB. So it's like, oh, so do I get the 16 GB for this low price? Like that's like for us as the DIY, the enthusiast will be like, oh, that's not too bad. But take note, the processor sucks though. The 8400F is a terrible gaming processor, but it is very cheap. So I mean, let's just go into it. So we go into it. Notice that 8400F not a good gaming chip. A 7600 or 70, even a 7400F will be much higher performance than this. you will notice that yes, it clearly states here in the specifications when you click in that it's only providing the 8 GB version of the 9060 XT, so not the 16 GB VRAM version. And it's only when you scroll down, I think in the middle, if you scroll down more, then you see that they provide Aftershock provides an option, but they are very clear about it. The website is very clear about it, so I do like how they lay it out. It's like you can upgrade to an ASRock 9060 XE Challenger for 16 GB GPU for if you pay 1055 everything all in, or you can upgrade to a Gigabyte Radeon 9060 XE 16 GB if you pay up to 1095, or you can have full curved glass and so on, so you can make your chassis look nicer. Because the previous one was maybe not as nice. I'm not too sure. Yeah, the previous one was the H class. So yeah, so that's that. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that 8 GB GPUs, they are coming from the pre-built market, and no matter what, I think pre-builts will still have a significant portion of they'll still sell a significant portion, because a lot of people who they are entering into PC gaming, they are gonna buy pre-builts because it saves them a lot of hassle. It's very easy. It's just like you want to get into laptop gaming, like you go and just buy the cheapest laptop you can find. Like you're not gonna fuss about whether this laptop has this CPU or this RAM configuration or this GPU and all that. You'll be like, can it run this game? It can run? Okay, I'll get it. So there's that. So the 8 GB GPUs do have a place, and unfortunately that place is supplying casual PC gamers with crappy 8 GB GPUs because they are the cheapest. They're the cheapest entry point, and the cheapest pre-builds will always sell the best, because that's what the casual audience is looking into. They are also looking for value. All right. So in summary, among the enthusiast market, the AMD 9000 series GPUs are selling really well against the 5000 series from Nvidia, about 3:1. And so that is that. So I'm hoping to see more people switching on to the AMD side, because those new GPUs are pretty good value. All right. And this is Charlie from Vamos Gaming Systems. We'll see you guys in the next one.